Alright, I was supposed to make this video a while ago, but a couple spring training games happened. I fucking passed out again after work. I don't know. I guess I work like a dog. Anyway, let's go over the Blue Jays entire spring training roster. I already made my projections like a week ago. I just didn't upload it. So what you're seeing right now is today, but what you're seeing at the end is something I made a week ago, but which I still stand by, unless the guys really suck ass. Like Escobar sucked ass yesterday, but again, it's one game. Espinal is terrible, so it proved my fucking point. So let's get to it, shall we? Wow. All right. Andrew Bash, I don't know who the hell it is. CJ Brock, he pitched good in this game. Don't know who that is. Connor Cook, I think he pitched good. Chad Dallas, all right. So he started the first game of spring training. He was solid. I don't think he'll make the team. He definitely is not going to make the team, but maybe he can make it next year as as a bullpen arm, because I know he's a starter. I think this is going to be his first year in Double A or Triple A. So yeah, he did all right. Don't know who that is. Pablo Espini, I don't know. Maybe he's just a fucking veteran to have in Double A. I mean Triple A. Don't really care about him. Don't care about any of these guys. And Ricky Tiedemann, he was supposed to start the first game, but then he got soreness or something. He'll be fine. He'll probably start in a bit. Payne Henry's probably going to be the backup catcher, in the minors, because he has the most MLB experience. I don't think they'll call up Steven if there's any injuries to Kirk or Jansen. I think Payne Henry's the guy, probably the Utah boy. If one of those catchers goes down, they have to call him up. So get used to seeing him, because Danny Jansen's he's not the healthiest guy. I hope Danny Jansen can play at least 140 games this year. I know not 140 games. Obviously, he's a catcher, and him and Kirk split. And sometimes Jansen will probably be DHing, but I'm just saying in general, hopefully he's healthy. Alright, infielders, don't really care about who the fuck is Luis De Los Santos. Escobar sucked from both sides of the ball against Rendon, but hey, it's first game back, whatever. Paggiani, Italian boy, I don't think he did that much in the game he played against the Yankees, but he's a highly talented prospect. He had good numbers in AAA. Don't care. Yeah, the Blue Jays need to draft some outfielders that are actually good prospects, or else we're going to be fucked for the future. So, whoever their GM is, if Ross is fired or if James Click is hired, we need to draft some outfielders, man, because we have no depth in the outfield at all. We have a lot of infielders, but not outfielders. These are only non-roster invites right now. So, Stuart Brion, I don't know who he did. Zach Brin, he did all right in the game he played. He got a hit, I think. I think he's probably our best outfielding prospect, Zach Brin. Which is not saying much, but I think he could be an okay player, on the bench. Cam Eden is just a speedster who steals a shitload of bags. Maybe we need him late in the year, so maybe he'll be a bench guy next year, but because Kiermaier's probably going to be gone next year, and then we would have to sign an outfielder next year, because Varsho definitely would be moving to center field. He played center field against the Pirates. The Phillies a while ago. Daniel Vogelbach, he didn't do anything in the game he played, but, Danny Burgers. Danny fucking Burgers. Again, it's just the first two games of spring training. I don't even know the lineup for today's game. All right, let's go to the 40, man. I'm going to say some... All right, let's start with the pitching. Chris Bassett, obviously, number 2 guy. Number 2A and number 2B is Bassett and Romano. Bassett's pitching today, so him and Kikuchi. Cabrera, he pulled a 180. That probably was the best trade between the Cardinals and Jays. Those fucking 1 of 3. Buy one, get 2 free. So, that was probably the best trade, because he pitched really good. We needed a lefty in the bullpen. He's been really good. Hayden Danger, he got injured when he pitched his first game. Hopefully, he goes to AAA, plays good, and they can call him up if there's a struggling reliever injury. Bone Fran just didn't do that good in his first start, but 2 innings, 2 runs, not that bad. Yimi Garcia, again, he needs a bounce back year. Last year was more down than up. Usually he's just like, sometimes he has a great outing and sometimes he sucks, but last year was a little bit down. Hopefully he can turn around. If not, then we got young relievers in the fucking minors that can replace him. Our ace, Kevin Gausman, nothing to say here. Chad Green, full season now. He's not injured, and he pitched solid in the playoffs. The games that we've played in the playoffs. But yeah, he's good. I like Chad Green to have on this lineup. Kikuchi's pitching today. I can't wait to watch that. He pitched really good last year in spring training. He owned the Pirates last year in spring training, and then it converted to the regular season, and he pitched really good in the regular season for what he is, which is a fifth starter, and he can carve, and sometimes he doesn't. So, but he had like a 3-something ERA, like almost 4, but way better than what he had in 2022. So he's a solid pitcher. Brand Little, he played good, but he ain't making team. Same with Mako. I didn't even know if he played. Adam Mako, maybe he'll play today. Alec Manoah pitches soon, so this is a big season for him. Big spring training. It's a fake competition, pretty much, but yeah, again, not all these players have pitched yet. So, but Manoah has a start. And guess what? It's not on TV, of course, on Tuesday. Tim Mays is probably one of the best lefties in baseball, and out of the bullpen, man, he fucking carved last year, and I don't fucking expect anything else. The year before, people didn't like him. You say he blew a lot of games. He only had one bad game, really, and that was the first game of the year. So, Wes Parsons sucks. Nate Pearson fucking sucked in that game against the Phillies, man. He added a splitter, but again, he's either wild or fucking throwing meatballs. If he didn't have gas, his fucking velocity on the fastball obviously wasn't top tier like usual. Usually he's fucking high, 90, like fucking 98, 99, 100 possible. It wasn't that high when I watched it, so maybe he's just easing in, but still, that was just a bad outing. Zach Pop did solid. I don't know if he'll make the team, but I like Zach Pop, Canadian boy. I think he's from Brampton. Poor guy. But I like his stuff. I don't know if he'll make the team, but we got him in that trade for Groshans and Conan. I guess we won the trade because they're not even on the Marlins anymore, both of them. Trevor Richards, he sucked yesterday. He's just a bad relief pitcher. That's why I don't have him. Spoiler. Uriel Rodriguez, we signed him out of Cuba. He hasn't pitched yet. Hopefully he pitches today, maybe. After Bassett and Kikuchi. But yeah, I think he's a good pitcher. He has a lot of pitchers in Arsenal. He pitches like a Japanese pitcher, which is pretty cool. His stance. I like him. Jordan Romano's a closer, obviously. He's a good closer, not elite, but he's an all-star, obviously. I don't know. I think he has to learn that he has to pound the damn fastball, and the slider has to be a secondary pitch. I don't know if he's not gonna learn another pitch, but yeah. Eric Swanson's the god. He had the most fucking innings pitched in the bullpen. Enough said. Mitch White sucks. Zuleta sucked. I don't think I have any faith in Zuleta. I know he's young, but I don't know. I don't want him in the fucking bullpen. These two. Kirk hit a home run yesterday. Let's go. Danny Jansen, he raked in his game that he played. So those two guys are good. They're good defensively. Jansen obviously is the better overall offensively. He has more pop. And Kirk, he won a Silver Slugger in 2022. Last year he struggled a lot. So we'll see what happens if Kirk can. I think maybe Kirk can recover and be like a 270 hitter. Obviously he doesn't have that much pop. Look at him, but he can be a little contact guy, and defensively he got way better last year, and hopefully he carries on. Infielder Barger, I like him, but I like him, but I'm not that. If we put him in a trade package in the trade deadline, I'm not gonna be mad as I think fucking Martinez is better by a mile. Bo Bichette's extend them right now. I'm not even gonna say anything. Kevin Biggio, he hasn't even played yet, but maybe he'll play today. Ernie Clement, I like him, contact guy. He's our only backup shortstop. I would keep him as backup shortstop and send this guy to the fucking 0 for 3 with an error. I hate Santiago Espinal. He's terrible, terrible. Send him to the moon. Vladdy has to have a bounce back year. Horwitz, again, maybe you'll package him in a deal. Jimenez, don't know that much about him. IKF had a nice game, 2 hits. He's a third baseman for now. Yes, I don't know if he'll play today, but we'll see. Rolis Martinez, again, he has pop. Probably a future third baseman or second, but he's playing second base, so I don't know what future he is, but I like Rolis Martinez. He's a good prospect, but again, you have to play your prospects to see if they're getting good in the majors. So if we don't fucking play these guys, you gotta trade them at the deadline to get someone long term. Davis Schneider, he made a nice catch at left field. So maybe he's a future left fielder, and then we call up Martinez next year. We'll see. But Davis Schneider, he's a good player. I like him. Obviously, he had that big Mickey run, and then he cooled down a little bit. But I think he'll still have a good rookie year as our second baseman. Outfield is where I vomit. I love Kevin Kiermaier, but he can't hit. He has good speed, but he can't hit. Nathan Lukes is just a jobber at the end of the day. He's like NPC wrestler. George Springer's washed until proven otherwise. Can he bounce back? Maybe he can have a little renaissance and be the old George Springer, bat like 270 something, hit 25 home runs, 80 plus RBIs, and I wouldn't mind at leadoff. And then Dolan Varsho, he had a good game against the Phillies, but again, they fucking had no one really pitching. But he hit 3 hits, 3 RBIs against the Phillies. He has a different swing, which is it's like less, he moves less movement, more organic. And he played good center field. I like Dalton Varsho as a player overall, but if he can just bat like 250, 25 home runs, 60 ribbies, and a good defense, then I don't give a shit really. At the end of the day, he doesn't have to be elite. He just has to contribute to the offense. He's our only he's our only lefty who can do anything really. He hit 20 home runs last year as a lefty. So he needs to. If he's popping, then it makes the lineup better. And then Justin Turner, he played good. He played good. DH. He got a walk, a hit. He looks in shape. He doesn't look old. He doesn't look like fucking Escobar. He's better than Escobar. He can swing the bat better than Escobar. He can swing the bat better than Vogelbach, and who are younger than him. Both of them are younger than him. So you can just tell that he's not washed at all. I like Justin Turner. This was a good pickup. We'll see what happens in the more games that we play and in the regular season. But I like Justin Turner. I think he's a good leader to this team. Him and Springer are the only guys that have World Series rings, even though Justin Turner's, and even though those rings are kind of asterisks, but it doesn't matter. They won them. So those are our leaders, really. And it's funny, those two guys faced off each other. So, yeah. That's all I got to say. Moving on to the projections. Yeah. All right, this is my projected Toronto Blue Jays lineup. This is not the batting order, so obviously Vladdy's not fucking leading off. This is just all the positions, like the starters and whatever, the bench. So, obviously, starting at first base, Vladimir Guerrero Jr. What a fucking shocker. Yeah, he needs to get... If he's great this year, we're making the playoffs and we're going far. If he's like last year, striking out, grounding to double plays, we're fucked. David Schneider, I think, should be the starting second baseman. He earned it. Also can play left field, so that's another aspect to his game. But obviously, he'll be starting at second base. IKF, probably going to be the starting third baseman. But he can play pretty much anywhere, and he can play center field, which is really good. But I don't know, him and Cavan or Turner or whoever I have next could rotate as well. So yeah, Bo Bichette's obviously your starting shortstop. Danny Jansen's your starting catcher with obviously Kirk on the bench right there. Um, yeah, let me pull that up. There you go. So yeah, Bo Bichette's your starting shortstop. Danny Jansen's your starting catcher. Enough said. Dalton Varsho, obviously starting left field. Center field is Kevin Kiermaier because we brought him back. George Springer will be starting at right field, and Justin Turner will be starting at DH and / infield because obviously he can play third and whatever. He's not like a permanent DH like Vogelbach, which I don't have. I don't have Vogelbach making the team. I don't have a lot of guys making the team. But I don't have fucking Nathan Luke's making the team. I don't care if he's an everyday outfielder. I think IKF provides more to the outfield than him because IKF can play center field. He's played like fucking over almost 50 games with the Yankees at center field. He can play center field in his career. He's a fucking gadget player basically. Kevin Biggio, he can play corner outfield mostly right field. So I think your backup outfielders are infielders, which is I don't know, can end in two ways. We have no depth really in the outfield. This team needs to draft some outfielders. That's the thing I can say about this team. We have no depth in the outfield, like I said earlier. So yeah, you got Kevin Biggio who can play right field majority. I don't think he's a left fielder, but he's better at right field. First base can be back at first base, second base, third. Yeah. And then you got Escobar. I think will make it because I think he'll have a good camp. I think he'll have a good spring training. And we need a switch hitter. We need a switch hitter on the line. I think he'll have a little bounce back spring training. He'll probably be like a 240 hitter, hit like 12 home runs on the bench, which is fine. I'll take that. And then you got Alejandro Kirk as your backup catcher / obviously you need to start him sometimes. Or sometimes in the lineup you have him as DH, and then you have fucking Danny catching, and you have probably Justin Turner at third. Like, there's a lot of combinations that you can have. And you got Ernie Clement. Simply because none of these guys can play shortstop, and Ernie can. He played a decent amount. Not that bad defensively. We need a backup shortstop just in case, you need to put Bo at, DH if you need him at DH or give him off day. And Ernie's that guy to play shortstop. And yeah, obviously I want Espinal gone. Like, I've been saying that for 50 years. So, yeah, so that's my lineup. Not the best, man. Like, again, what we promised in the offseason. Yeah, that's the team, I guess. That's the team. That's the team. So that's the lineup. Let's go to aspect of the fucking team that's good, the pitching. All right, let's move on to the pitching staff. Let's start off with the starting pitchers now. All right, so our starting pitchers are our ace, obviously Kevin Gausman, runner-up for Cy Young, obviously top 5 every year, pretty much the last 2 years. The guy is amazing. Yes, the playoff games he played, one was really fucking John Snyder's fault, and the other one was Royce Lewis just got hot. I know the playoff games he played weren't really that good, but the offense didn't really, offense wasn't that fucking good in that last one. So yeah, but overall he carries the team. Needs more fucking run support. Chris Bassett number 2. I would put him at number 2 right now because he's the only one who had a complete game with his team, and he had the big pitch mix. He can throw a lot of shit in the arsenal. He's a pitch to contact guy. I like Chris Bassett a lot. Yeah, he's up there. He's gonna get up there, but he's a beast. I like Chris Bassett. Jose Barrios had a really good year after bouncing back from a trash year the year before. Every year he's been consistently good, so why not have another fucking 3 ERA year? Around 200 strikeouts. Get it. Yusei Kikuchi, I won't be shocked if he falls down to 5, but this is a contract year for him. I don't see him coming back next year because we got Ricky T, and he's a lefty, and he's fucking throwing gas, so, but this could be a really good year for Yusei Kikuchi if he wants any money to, be a starter on a different team. And then our 5-star is Alek Manoah, which is a shocker. If you told me last year's spring training that Alek Manoah would be a 5-star, it would be crazy. But Alek Manoah can probably boost his way up to 2 maybe if he has a good season. Hopefully he has a good spring training, but I think no matter what, he'll stay at 5 because obviously he played like shit last year, but he has to adjust to the pitch clock. He lost weight, so that's good because he was fat. But I think that wasn't really the issue. It was more of the timing of the pitch clock and like him, getting out of breath and shit. Just I think it's gonna help him because he's gonna be in better shape. Hopefully, his cardio gets it going. So yeah. All right, now let's move to the bullpen relief pitchers. We got Chad Green. Again, he was in rehab last year, and he did pitch really good. So after the Colorado series, he pitched solid and did good in the playoffs. Genesis Cabrera was fucking amazing. He had like 1 or 2 bad games, but overall he was amazing. Yimi Garcia, he's making it out of default. I think they trust him to bounce back. He's an up and down pitcher. He's making the team though. Sometimes he's good, sometimes he's shit. You know that meme of that Italian manager of the soccer team. Sometimes he's a good, sometimes he's a shit. That's basically him, but it was up to me, I would get rid of him, but like he accepted the option, so he's back. So, we'll see what happens for Yimmy. And Bowden Francis, he's an innings eater. He's a long man. He's probably the 6th starter. I won't be shocked if he doesn't make it because, Richards. But I have Richards getting fucking released. So, that's why I got Bowden Francis making it. And I got Uriel Garcia making it. Rodriguez, not Garcia. The guy we signed from Japan. He didn't pitch in a year, but he has fucking nice stuff. Filthy stuff. I think you'll waste him in the fucking minors, man. I think he's an impact guy right now. He's 26. I think he's probably I think he's our only rookie that I have on this team. So, him and Snyder will be our only rookies. So he's a really good pitcher. Again, they signed him out of Japan, so you don't know if he's gonna be great or bad, but it was worth a risk because his stuff is really good. All right, now the setup guys is Tim Meza, who was one of the best lefty pitchers in the league, bullpen wise. Man, the guy shut down I don't know. When he throws the ball, it looks effortless. He only has like a fastball and a curveball. That curveball is fucking deadly. I love that curveball from Tim Meza. And the year before he didn't have that good of a season. This year it was really fucking good. And hopefully it keeps it up. And then Eric Swanson, he had a good season, but he threw way too many innings. He had to eat up a shitload of innings. And sometimes he got blown up because he's fucking tired. And he was carrying the bullpen on his back. I like Eric Swanson. I think he deserves this role. He can shut guys down with that fucking not the changeup. What's it called? A splitter. And when fucking Kevin Gausman goes deep into games and you have to take him out of the 7th inning, guess what? You got another guy with a fucking nasty splitter as well. So, yeah, you got Eric Swanson. And then you got Jordan Romano. Again, that's our closer. Canadian boy. Our beast. Yeah, enough said, really, for Jordan Romano. So that's my Toronto Blue Jays roster for 2024. I'm probably going to be wrong. Fucking Vogelbach and Esmall will probably make it. That's all I got to say. Peace. And Richards. Ew.